Hi guys, this is me again, Deepak. Thank you so very much for your overwhelming response on my yesterday's video. It was so glad to see the messages from some of my friends and the support that they extended. Thank you so much once again. Well, today I'm here to talk about good communication. Communication plays a major role in our day-to-day life. But how many times we have seen person getting frustrated? My manager don't understand what I'm trying to say. He always takes me wrong. She said the same thing after the meeting what I was trying to say. She just said it in different words. She doesn't like me, I guess. You know what? My husband jumps into the conclusion before I complete. My wife, oh my god, she just can't listen to what I'm saying. For her, I do everything wrong and I say everything wrong. Well, we have listened to these kind of complaints many a times, right? So, what do you think? What is the reason behind it? Does it really mean that the person you try to talk to doesn't like you? Not always. Most of the time, it is because the way you are trying to communicate to them was wrong. So, it is our responsibility to improve ourselves and to correct our ways of communicating so that we can expect a better response from the listener. Now, communications are of two types. One is communication with our motive, which mostly happens when we are trying to speak to someone in our office, a business talk, even with our family members, but when the topic is important. In motive communication, we try to start this communication with a motive, and we want to make sure that our motive is achieved because the person we are trying to communicate to understood what we wanted to say. And second communication is informal, which we have with our friends during party, with our family members, day to day communication that we say. Here, we just want to say what you want to without any formality, without any filters. We don't care if the person has not understood exactly what we're trying to say. We just said it for the sake of saying. In this video, we'll try to focus on meaningful communication or the communication with the motive. When we are going for the meaningful communication, our first step should be try to understand the person whom we are going to communicate. Try to prepare yourself before the communication start. Guys, every person is not same. Some people are extremely short tempered. With them, we have to be watchful about the words that we are using because they will never give you a second chance to clarify your things. At the same time, we have people who just don't like beating around the bush. With them, our communication should be straight on point, blunt, and short. It is extremely important that our body language is up to the mark when we are trying to make a communication with motive. Eye contact. We should make sure that we look straight into the eyes of the person we are trying to communicate to. This gives a confident image about yourself. The person who is listening understands this, that you are coming with a planned communication. You are here with a motive. So they will take you seriously. They will listen to you. You need to be a good listener. Your communication should never be one way. which mostly happens when you're going for a planned communication. Because in your mind, you're prepared with what you want to say, what your intentions are, how you want to say it. But the moment you are interrupted by the listener, you lose your rhythm, you lose your plot. That should never happen. You should listen to the person, what he is or she is trying to say. You should first try to solve what their query is or any doubt they had, and then continue with your pitch. At the same time, it is extremely important to be patient while you're communicating. Guys, patience is not only when you're listening to, patience is also important when you are trying to communicate. Because, as I said, everyone is not the same. The person you're trying to communicate to might take longer time due to the unavoidable circumstances. For example, if I'm trying to say something to Mr. Arun and in middle of the conversation he gets a call or someone calls him, I need to make sure that I would let Mr. Arun finish off his conversation and get back to me with complete focus. Otherwise, he will miss something important that I wanted to say. Guys, even in family, how many times we have seen relationships getting hurt, people getting separated. But if you do a case study, you will understand that most of the time the culprit was bad communication. We have seen couples in love, we have seen people loving each other, have got love for each other, affection for each other, but they just can't communicate properly. They always complain because they say that, our discussions never go on a positive note. We always end up fighting. And that is the reason I've stopped communicating to my partner. Our bad communications create the worst differences. You need to make sure that when you're communicating even to your partner, she or he might not exactly take your intentions in the way that you wanted to. Your partner can also be impulsive. They can keep interrupting you while you're trying to say something. With those, you have to make sure that it might take longer time for you to finish the conversation because they keep on interrupting you. But you take your time, you complete the conversation, and make sure that your motive is achieved. Last but not the least, acknowledgement. When we are doing a motive communication, we have to make sure that we take the acknowledgement of the listener at the end. Don't just try to finish what you want to say and go out of the scene, expecting that the person whom you're talking to or communicating to have taken all that you wanted to say in the way you wanted to. It is extremely important that you take their acknowledgement to make sure that the person has understood what you wanted to say and then proceed further. Guys, these are just few tips which I wanted to share with you because it has really helped me in my life. I would like to hear from you about your experiences or your suggestions about good communication. At the same time, if you like my video, then please don't forget to subscribe it. It gives me the motivation to share more and more videos. Thank you so very much.